And we are live. What is going on? Welcome, everybody, to my Money in the Bank 2019 preview and predictions video breaking down the upcoming WWE pay-per-view event, the 10th annual Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which will be emanating live from Hartford, Connecticut at the XL Center this Sunday, May the 19th, 2019. A show on paper that has a total of 11 matches here. If you're joining me, thank you for being patient. Great to have you back up here for this live preview and predictions video for Money in the Bank. Be sure to like, subscribe. Be sure to click that button down below. And without further ado, let's dive in. Robbie, what's going on? Hope you guys are looking forward to this preview and predictions video. We have a number of matches here to talk about on the Money in the Bank 2019 card. So let's not waste any time, and let's talk about the surprising match that was added to the pre-show. Now, keep in mind, I really haven't been watching much of WWE over the past 3 weeks. The product has been lackluster. It has been stale as a piece of bread that's been sitting out for how long? I mean, it is just pretty pitiful to watch. Although there's a couple matches here that I'm looking forward to, my overall interest level in this pay-per-view is low. So hopefully it exceeds my expectations. Money in the Bank usually does deliver, but I just feel like lately, WWE, they've been spinning their wheels when it comes to the creative. But be that as it may, let's talk about the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Daniel Bryan and Erick Rowan, versus the Usos. And they had a pretty good match on SmackDown. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Kane return this Sunday. No way. No. That just can't happen. It's impossible. But Daniel Bryan and Erick Rowan versus the Usos. Why is this match? First of all, I mean, it'll be a good match, but why are we having these two teams fight? One's from SmackDown, one's from Raw. It's the wild card rule crap. I'm not a fan of that. Like I said, to me, it's just lazy booking, and it just, makes the entire brand split completely pointless. I mean, if we're going to do this, why even have a brand split? I'm sure it'll be a good match, but to me, it's just like, what's the point? And you're really going to put guys like Daniel Bryan and the Usos on the pre-show? Okay. Doesn't really make sense. It'll be a good match, but Daniel Bryan and Rowan are going to get the win. That's my prediction. Moving on here, we have Tony Nese versus Ariya Daivari. I have not watched 205 Live in God knows how long, so maybe somebody watching live can tell me, how 205 Live has been. Like I said, I just don't have the time for it. So my prediction for this match, Tony Nese retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Moving on here, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. They had a really quick match at WrestleMania in which Joe defeated Rey in 1 minute. Of course, they were both drafted over to Raw. And I really like the stuff they've been doing with Joe, with him kind of, stalking Dominic, Rey's son, and perhaps Rey's son turns to the dark side and turns on his old man and aligns with Samoa Joe for the time being. But why would we do that? That might be something interesting. As far as this match goes, I think they'll have more of a competitive match compared to what they had at WrestleMania, but I think Samoa Joe will pick up the win. And we then have on the card here, Becky Lynch in 2 matches here. Let's talk about her first match. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky 2 belts is defending both belts on this show. As much as I love seeing Becky and Charlotte wrestle, I feel like it's time to put this feud to bed. Honestly, this feud should have been put to bed after the last woman standing match that they had, which was incredible at Evolution. Be that as it may, honestly, I felt like Asuka would have been the logical first challenger for Becky Lynch's SmackDown Women's Championship, because remember, Asuka made Becky tap out at the Royal Rumble, but we're just supposed to forget that, so whatever. I'm sure Becky and Charlotte will have a good match, but I'm predicting that Becky wins. And as far as the Raw Women's Championship match goes, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans, I feel like it's too soon to put the belt on Lacey, especially with Becky just winning those titles after WrestleMania, both titles. Like I said, if you're just going to get rid of the brand split, just merge both titles together anyway. You know, there's too many championships as it is, in my opinion. So that's what I would like to see done. So I'm predicting that Becky Lynch will successfully retain both of her championships against both Lacey Evans and Charlotte. Moving on here, we move on to The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. I feel like we've been getting way too much Shane McMahon. You know, I enjoyed the match with him and The Miz at WrestleMania. I thought, okay, that's going to be it. We move on here. Then we're continuing this here, and Shane's assisting Elias, who is feuding with Roman Reigns. So it looks like we're going to get Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns. I'm just like, why do we need to see this much of Shane McMahon on TV? I like Shane, I do, but I don't like him that much, especially at this age. He's almost 50. And it's all about the McMahons, and it's just like, he's 49. And to see him beating up talent on the roster, it's just like, why are we doing this? It's because he's your son? Again, I don't need to see Shane McMahon on both shows on a weekly basis. I just don't. I think him and Miz will have a decent cage match, and I think that the Miz wins and puts this feud with Shane McMahon to bed. At least I would assume that's what happens, but you never know with WWE. And then have Roman Reigns versus Elias in what feels like a complete afterthought of a match. I don't know what they're doing with these two. Like I said, it just feels like it's a match, and I don't really care that they're having a match. Roman Reigns is going to win, and I don't really have anything else to say. This is not going to be a long predictions video, like I said, because I am just, my interest in this card, in this pay-per-view, in this company is really, really low right now, outside of NXT. Everything else is just kind of blah. Let's talk about the WWE Championship match. Now, this will be good. Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. You know, on the April 16th episode of Smackdown, you had Kevin Owens, who was all buddy-buddy with Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And with Big E being out, Owens joined, became the third member of the New Day. And eventually, after a match Kofi Kingston had with Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens turned on Kofi Kingston. And I think Kevin Owens is just much more natural in the heel role. And I think him and Kofi Kingston, they'll have a really good WWE Championship match. And I'm going out on a limb here and saying that Kevin Owens will defeat Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship here. I think Kofi, he's held that belt since WrestleMania, but I think unfortunately his time with that title is coming to an end. He's had almost a month reign, which is what I would about expect, for Kofi to have. I'd like to see him hold on to it a little bit longer, but I think Kevin Owens is taking that title from him at Money in the Bank. And did I catch NXT tonight? No, I did not, but you can guarantee I will be catching it tomorrow. Let's talk about the two Money in the Bank ladder matches here. We have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match featuring Natalya, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. As I said in my Money in the Bank ranking video, I'm still picking Mandy Rose to walk out with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And as far as the men's Money in the Bank ladder match goes, we have Sami Zayn, who replaced Braun Strowman after beating him in a last man standing match on Raw, versus Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin versus Mustafa Ali versus Finn Balor versus Andrade Cien Almas versus Randy Orton. Looking at this field, I was originally going to say Drew McIntyre, but something tells me that Sami Zayn might walk out with that Money in the Bank ladder match contract. I've really been taking Sami Zayn's heel work. So I think it comes down to either Sami Zayn or Drew McIntyre. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Sami Zayn will walk out and become Mr. Money in the Bank. And finally, our Universal Championship match, this is the match I'm most looking forward to. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the first time in WWE. I'm expecting these two to put on an incredible match. I'm expecting them to tear the house down. And I just don't see Rollins losing the Universal Championship so soon after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And I think it'll be able to be a competitive match between him and AJ Styles. Could I see AJ turning heel after this? Absolutely. We'll see what direction they go in. But that is the match I am most looking forward to at Money in the Bank 2019. So that's the card there. Like I said, decent to solid card. We'll see how it ends up turning out. So those are my thoughts and opinions on Money in the Bank 2019, guys. And I want to say thank you all for tuning into this video. Be sure to click my like and subscribe button here on youtube.com/DanielGaza412 for all my latest thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at DanielGaza412. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/DanielGaza1994. And be sure to check out the Kane Action Team at the new website, kaneactionteam.com. The links can be found down below in the description box. So until then, guys, I want to say thanks for watching, and I will be back up here in my next video whenever that may be. So until then, take care.